What? We're ready?
Whenever you want.
Not too early. Good morning, Rabbi Isai. I need to explain this because I had a few complaints. First of all, a tremendous shishkoyach. We had over, I want to say 350 or so emails and messages saying Mazel Tov. So I can't respond to all 350, so I'm responding here. Yishar Koyach, thank you very much. It's much appreciated. It's beautiful when people send in emails and they actually show up. We had Reb Official Catering from Baltimore. He's here himself. Here it goes. I'm not going to wear it during Shir. All right. As you can see, we still have a few minutes until the start of Shir. Exactly 2 minutes. People were complaining that perhaps the emails are on the cheshbon of learning. No. We start the Shir at 7:15, and we try to do a couple of emails before 7:15. Right now it's 7:13, so you might be watching it later and wondering, but it's not time yet. The Olam is still drinking coffee, getting themselves together, taking off their tefillin. I did. Yeah. I got this just this morning, and it touched me in a way. I'll explain to you. It says, Rebelli. This guy is Moshe Sherizan from Detroit, Michigan. I've been spending a lot of time in commuting to Indianapolis for work. Oh, so when I heard that, I used to spend hundreds of hours driving the 3-hour trip from Chicago to Indianapolis, where I bought property. As a matter of fact, I was a Magachir then, and many times I slept over and I would drive back to give the shir. I don't know how I did it. Drive to say shir and then go back 6 hours. So it says like this: your easy shmeezy approach to teaching makes it possible to chap the daf even whilst driving. I've jumped on Berachos bandwagon before, but this time I hope to keep it up. Ishkoyach. We have to come up with a system where everybody's going to keep it up. Nobody's going, oh, Mazel Tov. Rabbi said, you're on live. Have a seat. I mentioned to some of my co-workers that I listened to classes while driving. Scott, Beals, and Terry didn't know that you were a Jewish celebrity, so it turns out that this guy actually does work on my property. He's from Loop Investments. He's a project manager. Never heard of him, but Yishkoyach, welcome aboard, Moshe. Reb Moshe. One day I'll get to know you. And one last one for today. Baruch Hashem, and this is from somebody in the room. I don't know who he is, but it was forwarded to me by, I think, Yeshua. Baruch Hashem is great. I love the full room of people from different backgrounds and ages all coming together and pushing each other. The positive atmosphere and energy in that room is contagious, first and foremost for the learning and the daf, but also sets up the rest of the day with the same energy. I've been in RBS, Ramat Bet Shemesh, for 20 years now, and I've been involved with many different learning programs over the years in various shuls, but I don't ever remember this electrifying experience. Thank you for putting this together. Yishar Koyach. And now we move on to the shir. We're a little early. Maybe we should pause first. Okay, fine. Rabbi, if you have any good pictures, I have a really good one coming up. If you have any good pictures of the 8-minute daf or learning the shir on skis, skydiving, anything would be appreciated. Okay, Zok the Gemara. We're holding, believe it or not, we had a nace yesterday. We were able to get to where we need to be. And that is today's daf Chav Zayin, and today we're holding daf Chav Vav with Beis on the bottom. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, so today's shir is sponsored for the schus of Shoshana Razi Bas Silka, who actually is the inspiration behind the 8-minute daf. Today is a special day, Shoshana Razi Bas Silka. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Ad Arba Shois. Shkoyach, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'akol nהיה b'dvaroi. When could you say Shemona Esrei Shachris? Till 4 hours into the day, Iboilu. Ad va'ad bichlal, or dilma ad veloy ad bichlal. Very simple. If Rabbi Yehuda, I'm showing this to you, but you don't want to, okay, fine. You complain that the olam on the side doesn't see. When we get the screens, it'll be different. Did anybody notice the beautiful vents over there on top? Bottom. It's coming, it's coming together. Rabbi Yehuda says, ad arba shois, this is the line, arba shois. This is how we understand it. But it could mean the end of the third hour, which is the beginning of the fourth hour. This picture shows how he actually holds. It's at the end of the fourth hour. It includes the entire fourth hour. And that's the question. Does it include the whole fourth hour, or does he mean the beginning of the fourth hour? Toshma, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, ad plag ha-mincha. Rabbi Yehuda says you could say mincha until halfway through mincha. Now, here it goes. So explain it again. It's slightly different than yesterday. As you see, there are two red lines here. Plag means the middle of these two red lines. What are these two red lines? The first red line is mincha ktana, which is 9.5 hours after the start of the day. Again, you take daylight and you divide it into 12 pieces. 9.5 pieces later, or 9.5 hours, is the first line. Nighttime is the second line. So you have 2.5 hours between these two lines. Plag mincha means smack in the middle. Plag is halfway through these two lines, from mincha ktana to night, and that's the line. Now, today's food is sponsored in honor of the yahrzeit of the Baba Sali. Okay. Anonymous. Anonymous is right over there. Who's that? Okay, just made the Baba Sali. Okay, I get it. So the Gemara understands. I'm going to have to stop the shir because there's somebody in the room that I don't want him to be here. But he needs to get his food and his coffee. That is my Rebbe, Rabbi Didier Kramer. He's not allowed to be in the room. It's not an insult, but he just puts a lot of pressure on me. But he's going to be behind the door listening. Fine. Yeah, exactly. We're going to see it today's daf. Anyway, so when Rabbi Yehuda, it could be two things. Rabbi Yehuda says, ad plaga mincha, until plaga mincha. What does he mean? If he means it includes that hour, let's say like he said over here, it includes the fourth hour, so perhaps it includes from this middle line till the night. That would be a major problem. That's yes, if it includes everything, then it's a major problem because Chachamim say you could say mincha until the night. And Rabbi Yehuda is saying you could say mincha until the night. So they're saying the same exact thing. That's a problem. If it doesn't include the time that he's talking about, at least then there's some sort of machloikis. Rabbi Yehuda will say it's up until this red line, and Chacham say it's up until the night. So you have 1 hour and a quarter, shows manios that there's machloikis in. Rabbi Yehuda says you have to stop when it's still daylight, 1 hour and a quarter before Shkia. Chacham say you go all the way into Shkia. But if you say Shkia, depending on how you want to learn. Yeah, there's a Rishonim that say, you're right, we learned in Rashi that it says. But if you say that when he says the word ad plag mincha, it means it includes plag mincha. So includes plag mincha means it'll go all the way to the nighttime. The Mela, there's no difference between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbanon, and that's a major problem. We're holding in Daf Chav Zayin Omid Aleph now. Elomai ad v'lo ad b'chlal. We must be forced to say that Rabbi Yehuda holds it doesn't include what he's talking about. And Mela, he says until plag mincha, until this middle red line. And Arba Shois is not this green line, it's the end of the third hour. It doesn't include the whole fourth hour. It's ad v'lo ad b'chlal. Ema Seifa. Now we have a different problem. How does it fit into the Seifa? V'shel musafim kol hayoim Rabbi Yehuda oimad sheva shois. When could you bring a carbon musaf all day long or up until 7 hours according to Rabbi Yehuda? Memela, we daven musaf either all day long according to Chachamim or up until 7 hours according to Rabbi Yehuda. Now what is 7 hours? Either if lo yad b'chlal, it means chatzois, the beginning of the 7th hour, or it means advad b'chlal until the end of the 7th hour. So either to this red line or to the purple line. Okay, either to the red line, chatzois, the beginning is loy ad b'chlal, does not include the 7th hour, or ad b'chlal includes the purple line. So let's see, does that make sense? What if a person has a dilemma? He could daven two davenings now. He could daven Musaf or Mincha. Which one comes first? Any day. Shabbos, Rosh Hashanah. Halavai on Rosh Hashanah we should be holding by Musaf at the time. Okay, fine. Achas shel Musaf, achas shel Mincha. Mispal shel Mincha, v'achar kach shel Musaf. Shezu tedira, v'zu eni tedira. Chachamim who hold that you could daven Musaf all day long. And Chachamim who hold that Mincha is all the way to the night, all day long. So which one comes first? Mincha. Why? Because Tadr. You daven Mincha every day, all the way to the night. Musaf is once a week. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, mispalel shel Musaf, achar kach shel Mincha. First you daven Musaf, then Mincha. Shezuei veres v'zuei neveres. Beautiful. Now we'll explain. Here, if you look over here for a second. When can you daven Mincha? By the yellow line. That's 6.5 hours into the day. Mincha Gdoilo, we said, is a half an hour after Chatzos. So the only possibility of davening Mincha and Musaf at the same time is if you hold that Musaf, Mincha and Musaf, if Musaf could go all the way to the end of the 7th hour. But if Musaf goes to the beginning of the 7th hour, which is Chatzos, that's the red line. It's before the yellow line. It's impossible to ever have a situation where you daven Mincha and Musaf at the same time. Because once you get to the yellow line, you're past Chatzos. You can't daven Musaf anymore. Elamai, it's a half hour later. There's a half hour. Hold on. Judah's taking a phone call. Hold on a second. That's not the singing I was talking about, Judah. I was talking about Nigunim. Musaf is a half hour later than Mincha. So what do we have here? We have a half an hour opportunity to daven either Musaf or Mincha. Which one should you chap? You have to take Musaf. Why? Because Mincha continues all the way to Mincha Ktana, according to him. And Musaf is over in a half an hour. So I better do Musaf right away. I'm about to miss Musaf. I only have a half hour, from 6.5 hours to 7 hours. That's only if you hold what? Advad Bechlal. It includes the 7th hour. Let's see inside. If you're confused, it's fine. In 2 lines, we're starting a brand new sugya. It's about to be over in half an hour. It's only possible if Rabbi Yehuda, when he says the 7th hour, you say Musaf, he means till the end of the 7th hour. If he means 7, he means Chatzos. It's impossible to have a situation where you have Mincha and Musaf together. Even the Asher Mincha, once Chatzos comes, there's no more Musaf. Elamai, Advad Bechlal. So therefore we're forced to say, the Rabbi Yehuda holds, it includes everything. So when he says Arba Shois, he means until the end of the 4th hour. When he says Musaf is until the 7th hour, he means till the end of the 7th hour. The problem is up here. If he says till Plaga Mincha, and Plaga Mincha means all the way to the night, so then he says exactly the same thing as Chachamim, that Ma'ariv is until the night, Mincha is until the night. So what do we do? Says Gemara, Elamai Advad V'chal Kashi Reisha. Mike ben Rabbi Yehuda Rabbanon. What's the difference? Says the Gemara, very simple. There are 2 Plag Minchas Rabbi Yisai. Plag means half. This is the first part. We're talking about 2.5 hours that you divide in half. This is part number 1, from this red line to the middle red line, and from the middle red line to the second red line. He wasn't talking about the second part. He was talking about the first part. Ad Plag Mincha means until the end of the first part. It is Advad Bechlal. It's until the end, until the middle line, which is exactly 1.25 hours before Shkior it says. Misav is Plag Mincha, Plag Achroina Kamar, Plag Rishoina Kamar. He's referring to the first part. When does the first part go into the second part? When there's 11.25 hours left to the day. What? 11, sorry, what? 10.75, 11. 10:45. So didn't I say the hour and a quarter before the end of the day? No? Oh, okay, fine. Okay, sorry. Mikinafki. By the way, talking about Menachem Mata, Baruch Hashem, I was saved. I was wrong in Pshat yesterday, but the Arishonim that learned the Gemara like me. So Baruch Hashem. And in terms of the tefillin bag, Menachem Mata came out after the shir and said that I was right, but then somebody else came and showed me that I was wrong. Kitzer, be machmir on yourself. If you have a plastic bag around your tefillin, it might be for the talis, it might be for your money, it might be for something else. Maybe it is considered another bag. I don't know. I didn't even look into it. But yes, al-ma'alidoin, the tefillin box and the tefillin bag, the small bag, those are considered one bag. Everything else, ask your local rabbi. We do. We have Rav Pessin. In the 5-block radius, we have plenty of local rabbis. That's Rabbi Kornfeld from the Gra. I'll find you one. Chaim, don't worry about it. Fine. Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava, Heid Chamisha Dvarim. Rabbi Yehuda ben Bava testified 5 things where in Masechtas Eidiyos, which Masechtas Eidiyos is basically halacha l'maisa. We pass like Masechtas Eidiyos. Shemiman Mesaktana. We all know that halacha that a girl who's an orphan, lost her father, she's under 12 years old. Midoraisa, only a father can marry her off. But since we're concerned that she might be hefker, so her mother and brothers are allowed to marry her off. But she has halacha that she could be mimayin, she could negate the whole marriage. She could say, I don't want this guy anymore. The second she says it, marriage is over. What happened was, her older sister married her husband's brother. 2 brothers married 2 sisters. The other sister's brother dies, and Memela, what happened? And Memela what? The older brother is supposed to be the yavam to the girl. Now the problem is that 2 sisters are now going to be married to the same husband. So Memela, what we do is we get rid of the ktana. We tell the ktana, be memayin, done, and Memela, the older one could have yibum, and we can marry off a woman when a single person testifies that he saw that the husband was killed or died. We can marry her off. There's a question whether the Torah says only an ox is killed if an ox kills a person. What about if a chicken, and there's a ma'aseh shahaya that a chicken poked a hole in a baby's soft skull, and memela they had to kill the chicken. You bring older wine on the mizbeach. That's only wine that's at least 40 days old. And here's the point that we're looking for. Talmud shachar shekorev be arba shois. Be arba shois means during the 4th hour. And what would that mean? Ad va'ad bechlal. It includes the 4th hour, just like on this chart. The green line is not at the end of the 3rd hour. The green line is at the end of the 4th hour. It includes the entire 4th hour. Zog the Gemara. Shma mino ad va'ad bechlal. Shma mino. Omer Rav Kahana halacha ki Rabbi Yehuda. So let's remember this for a second. Put it in our memory. He says that halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda, that you could say Shemona Esrei until the 4th hour of the day, not until Chatzos. Why? Hoyel usnam b'bchirasa kevasei. The bchira, the mufchar of all mishnayos, of all shas, is ediyos or idiyos. It's the bchira, and memela, the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda, the al tomid sheshachas shekora ba'arba shois. Mantano lo de Torah Rabbanon. How does Arba Shois means? It's the end of the day. How does this fit into the pasuk? The Torah Rabbanon v'cham hashemesh v'nomos we have by the mon. What happened? Here's the pasuk. Vayilketu oisei ba'boiker ba'boiker. You get the mon in the morning, double morning. Ish kifi ochloi v'cham hashemesh v'nomos. Eventually, the mon is going to melt. After the morning. Right? In the morning you melakit it, you gather it, and then it melts. Okay. When did this happen? Says the Gemara, Ba'arba shois. Now this is a big problem. If you say that it melts in the 4th hour, that means it's not Ba'boiker, Ba'boiker. Ba'boiker, Ba'boiker, you're gathering. As long as it's daytime, you're gathering. When does it melt? After daytime. It's no longer day. It's not boiker. V'namas is after day. I'm allowed to collect. My money is going to stay all morning long. But it says it happened in 4 hours. According to Rabbi Yehuda, 4 hours is still day. So what's going on? Maybe the Torah is referring to 6 hours. It says the Gemara, no. By Avraham Avinu, it says on the third day after his bris, he was standing by his tent. What does Kechoy Mayoim mean? It means that everything is hot. No matter where you go, it's going to be hot. Even under the trees, even in the shade, it's going to be hot. But it says, Choym HaShemesh, by us it says Choym HaShemesh. V'cham HaShemesh. What does that mean? Only if you're in direct sunlight, you'll be hot, but if you're in the shade, not. That means it's a different time than by Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu was by the 6th hour. This must be at a certain time where it's not as hot as Avraham Avinu. So Mela have the problem, but Arba Shoyis is not morning anymore. And it says in the Pasuk that there's morning and there's Arba Shoyis. Mani lo Rabbi Yehuda lo Rabbanon. It can't go either shittas that we just mentioned, Chatzois or 4 hours. Rabbi Yehuda ad Arba Shoyis namitzafru. Up until 4 hours is daytime. Rabbanon Chatzois namitzafru. How could it mean that it melted before Chatzois? Iboisem Rabbi Yehuda, Iboisem Rabbanon. I can explain it both ways. Iboisem Rabbanon. That what? That the morning is up until Chatzois. Omar Kroba Boiker Bar Boiker Chalkelu Shnei Bekarim. Since it says twice Bar Boiker, meaning I have 3 and 3. You're right. Typically, the morning goes all the way to Chatzois, which is 6 hours into the day. But since it says Bar Boiker Chayim, it's talking about 3 hours. I don't know. He just went from here to there. He wants to see the signs better.
The start of the 4th hour.
Okay, can't see. Rabbi also says there's extra boiker. But typically the morning goes until the 4th hour. In this particular case, you're allowed to collect your man up until 3 hours. Why? Because the extra boiker takes off 1 hour of the daytime. My mashma, Omer Rav Bar Yaakov, Omer Krov, V'cham HaShemesh v'nomos. Where do you have a situation where you have heat from the sun, yet you could protect yourself in the shade? 2 hours later, at Chatzois time, you can't even protect yourself under the shade. It's too hot. We mentioned before, halach is like Rabbi Yehuda that shachar is until 4 hours. Why? Because it's an ediyos. What about now? Says the Gemara, Ishtik v'loyamar lev midi. So what about mincha? When do you say mincha until? Is the halacha like Rabbi Yehuda or not? Now we're going to be talking about early Shabbos. Could you do early Shabbos? Is it preferable to do early Shabbos? It says Rav would daven Shabbos, he'd make Erev Shabbos early. Now, let's take a look for a second. What does Miba'od Yom mean? Miba'od Yom means after Plag Mincha. Where's Plag Mincha again? This middle red line. In between these two lines, halfway through, in other words, an hour and a quarter before Shkior Tzeis. That's when he davened. Now, what do you see from here? We just discussed this. Who says that it's nighttime or end of mincha by this red line? Rabbi Yehuda. Meaning, if I daven, if I accept upon myself Shabbos after this red line, I'm essentially saying that it's already nighttime. And I hold like Rabbi Yehuda, that you can't say mincha anymore, memela I could say ma'ariv. According to Chachamim, I could daven mincha up until this red line, until nighttime. So it doesn't make sense I can make Shabbos before that red line. So the Gemara, Shema Mina, Allah Rabbi Yehuda. Ad Rabba, Mid Rav Huna, Rabbanon. Who's Rav Huna? Very important. Rav Huna is a Talmud of Rav. If his own Talmud didn't paskin like Rav, obviously Rav didn't really make early Shabbos all the time. It was a one-time thing or whatever happened over there. But Rav Huna, Rabbanon, they have matzah adurto, Shema Mina, and Allah Rabbi Yehuda. Why wouldn't they do early Shabbos? Because the Allah is not like Rabbi Yehuda. Nighttime Shabbos is all the way until the red line. Since it's not clear who the halacha is like, the Ovad Kimar Ovad, Udo ovad kimar ovad. There's a huge nida in here in the Rishonim. We're not going to get completely into it. What does it mean I can do whatever I want? I can do whatever I want. So every week I'll do something else. Say the Rishonim, it's an amazing thing. Once you pick something, you're stuck for the rest of your life. Hold on, I'll explain. Not regarding early Shabbos. Oof. Everything else. If I decide that Plag Mincha is already nighttime, an hour and a quarter before night, then that's it. I'm stuck with that for the rest of my life when it comes to anything else. For, I don't know, Tanesim, whatever you want, whatever has to do with nighttime, that's it. I'm stuck with that. However, when it comes to early Shabbos, I can pick and choose every week differently because there's an inyan of making an early Shabbos, of being moisiv on Tosefes Shabbos. That's in essence the whole, but it's a very big machlokes with the Rambam and the Rosh and there's a lot of Rishonim here. Everybody should be ma'ayin at their own time. What? No, there's an inyan to be moisiv. But they're saying it's not a question of wrong zman. It's the wrong zman, but I'm adding the wrong zman. I'm adding daytime to the night. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing melacha. I'm not this. Okay, we'll see a second. Hold on. You can't be what?
You can't be myself for plag, right? If you do it.
Right. So you're saying it's like plag. But for you, no, because there are some that hold that you could. It's a good zman. It could be. You just chose what you want. Memela, since of the Tosefes Shabbos, I'm allowed to.
You're saying if you hold that's the time, then it's not Tosefes.
But you can't hold. That's a machlokes tanoim, what the time is. But you pick the time. Your minig is. But because of Tosefes Shabbos, I allow you to take the other minig. Rav Ikla Lebei Gniva V'Tzalei Shel Shabbos Ber Shabbos. You remember Gniva from the other day that they said Rav should forgive him, that he said the wrong thing in the name of Rav. Apparently, he was very close to Rav. Rav stayed in his house. V'Tzalei Shel Shabbos Ber Shabbos, and Rav made an early Shabbos. V'Hava Mitzalei Rabbi Yirmiyah Bar Abba LaChoyrei de Rav. And Rabbi Yirmiyah, the son of Bar Abba, Davin Shmona Esrei behind. So this is the halacha of whether you're allowed to step backwards when somebody else is davening behind you. We see him Rav, the Pascal, it's close to the Rabbi Yirmiyah, and Rav finished the Shmona Esrei first, and he didn't disturb Rabbi Yirmiyah, he didn't walk, he didn't do Ois Shalom into Rabbi Yirmiyah. Oh. Shema Minot Las. Shema Minot Las, Mispal Odom Shel Shabbos Ber Shabbos, referring to me and my brother. Shema Minot Las, you see from here three halachas. Mispal Odom Shel Shabbos Ber Shabbos. You're allowed to, first of all, you see from here that Rav made an early Shabbos. Ushma Mino Mispal Talmud Achoy Rabbi. How did Rabbi Yirmiyah daven behind Rav? You're allowed to daven behind your Rebbe, and we're going to see that that's not Allah. Ushma Mino Osur Laver Kenegedam Mispalim. The Shabbat brings two reasons. Somebody was just telling me, maybe Chaim was telling me on Shabbos, the Rabbi Pesach was talking about a third reason. The main reasons are, you're disturbing the guy davening. You're disturbing his concentration. By walking in front of him, it disturbs. Certainly you shouldn't be talking next to him, v'chulu, v'chulu. The other big reason is the Shechina. Shechina is there, and you're backing into the Shechina. Fine. Nafkamina, if there's a mechitza and this and that. If his eyes are open and there's a mechitza, you're still disturbing him. If his eyes are closed and there's no mechitza, maybe you're not disturbing him, but the Shechina is there. Yeah, you could go both ways. What you're referring to is that my brother, who was orphaned at a very young age, I was older. Okay, I won't say the Maisa. I'll go upon him. There's something called Girsa the Yankasa. We were very makbid, my father was very makbid on us not to walk back. So even though he's not so makbid on davening Shemona Esrei, Bizman Hazeh, Nachman doesn't like the Maisa, he's not going to watch this, don't worry about it. He's very makbid on not walking back 3 steps. He was here in Mabit Shemesh. He didn't walk back 3 steps. I take it as a beautiful thing. You can take it any way you want. He still had that thing. He doesn't walk in front of people. The Olam should be makbid also. Ushma Mino also Lavganem Ispalim. Misayele, okay, I won't say the Maisa again. Misayele Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Dom Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Osur La'aver Kenegedam Ispalim. It's Osur. I don't know why. People are not so makbid in this. We have to find out the reason why. Maybe there's a bench, there's a this, they have all different reasons. Aini, what? You are? Very good. Beautiful. Aini v'Rabasi Chalfi. You see that they weren't makbid Rabbi Mirasi. Says Gemara, Rabbi Mirasi chutz la'arba amos udechalfi. Yes, if it's beyond arba amos, 8 feet, not a problem. Rabbi Yirmiyah eichi avedachi. V'omer Rabbi Yehuda, how did Rabbi Yirmiyah daven behind his Rebbe? V'omer Rabbi Yehuda Rav lo ilam al yispal lodam. We're holding on that Chav Zayin and Beis. We're coming up upon a Moirdik story, but I don't know what time it is. I can't see. Turn the thing. Oh, it does. Okay, great. I have a clock in front of me. I know how to. I don't know how to use it, but I know how to tell time. Loi keneged rabbi v'loi achari rabbi. You shouldn't be equal to your Rebbe. Why? Because you're showing that you're equal to him. It's gaiva. V'loi achari rabbi. Rashi says it's gaiva. Taisa says because it looks like you're bowing to your Rebbe. V'tani Rebbe lezo oimer mispal achari rabbi. V'anoisin shalom leRabbi. If you say shalom aleichem to your Rebbe, what's the problem with saying shalom aleichem to your Rebbe? He's about to leave. Okay. What's the problem with saying hello to your Rebbe? There is no problem. It says Tosfos, the problem is that you didn't say it correctly. You said shalom instead of saying shalom aleichem Rebbe. Or if your Rebbe says hello to you, you shouldn't answer him. It's not. Of course you should answer. You say shalom aleichem Rabbi Umayri. You have to say it in the proper way. And if you don't, then that's the problem. Not to say to your Rebbe. Okay. By the way, you got me into trouble yesterday because you said something about mezuzah. So somebody wrote me in a whole email with Aruch HaShulchan, mezuzah, and on your bedroom, and it's not brought anywhere. It's a big, long, nice Aruch HaShulchan. I ain't chump. What? What? He says it's not brought anywhere. Such a huge halacha of a mezuzah on a bedroom should be at least mentioned somewhere, and it's not. Kitzur, he goes into it. Right. But at least it should be mentioned. That's what he's saying. Anyway. If somebody opens up a yeshiva without asking rishus, wow. When I was in the Mir Yeshiva, I had a chavrusa, one of the zaks. I'm not going to mention his name. I learned, yes. In the tefillin, but I'm saying the Aruch HaShulchan says it's not mentioned. Okay, say that. So I was in the Mir Yeshiva. I was learning with my chavrusa, one of the Zakses. He was my chavrusa since Pesach, and we in the old base medrash, the original base medrash, we're the ones facing literally like me. I was up against the wall. Windows behind me are in Kodesh right over here, literally like this. That's exactly how I was sitting. The whole entire base medrash this way. So every day I would ask him questions. He'd say, "Oh, such those kashas you're asking." Every day the same thing. So one day I came, I said, did you see the Kilos Yankiv? He asked him, where did the kasha? He goes, what? So I tell him my kasha, my own kasha. He goes, oh, that's new. I said, it's B'tzarachian. He stays B'tzarachian. And then I realized that this is the trick. Instead, if I have a good kasha, I don't say it's my kasha. Every day, the Pnei Shua says this. He says, oh, it's good. And Reb Chaim says that. And then finally, after a while, I said, all these things I was telling you, it's me. He got so upset, he took my yarmulke, threw it out the window in the mirror. Literally, he went chick out. So I got up in front of the entire mirror. I'm walking like this, all the way out. This is he's a great friend. Today he's a big Magachir, Rosh Shiva, I think. He lives in Pesach.
He had precedent for that story because of Nosson Finkel and the Kanoim came into the Mir Beis Medrash. The protest of Chaim's, what he said, he took a Kanoi's Streimel and threw it out the window of the mirror.
At that window. Maybe it was that window. The one, by the Arn Kodesh, that one. Okay, anyways. I'm just reading it. Dava Shalishama Piraba. If you just say something, you never heard it. What's the problem? I was mamish over. Gorim l'shchina. Oh, it's going to the yarmulke. The shchina. I just chav and mamish fits in. You're not Jewish anymore. You don't have a yarmulke. Why? You can't say it's a chil Hashem. What if he didn't say it? The people are going to say that that's what the Stipler said. Such a shvacha kasha. So you can't say something in the name of somebody else when it's not true. Shani Rabbi Arbo. Oh, but that I said right away on the spot. That was a bad one. Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to say the Ma'isa. I don't know. Say the Ma'isa. Okay. He wants you to say the Ma'isa. We're learning Mishnah Berurah, and I think I said it. I just said it recently. We're learning Hilchas Mezuzah or Sefer Torah, and I just got a video of a robot that was writing a Sefer Torah. And I said at the Mishnah Berurah Shem, Rabbi Kornfeld was sitting there, and like a shaita, I said that Reb Chaim Kanievsky paskins that a Sefer Torah written by the robot, as long as it's turned on by a Jew, and he says l'shem mitzvah Sefer Torah, it's a kosher Sefer Torah. And I just kept on walking. I just kept on going weiter. Not a single person said a word. And I go, Rabbi Isai, because I said Reb Chaim Kanievsky said it, so it makes sense to you. Why didn't anybody ask me a question? Reb Kornfeld was there. He's all whatever. I said Reb Chaim never said it. I made it up. I just wanted to see if I could pull it off. And whatever. It was not a good time. Shouldn't be doing it. Goyim Shechina Shetistalg Yisrael. But I think it was Turkey de Dibur. He didn't say anything, but whatever. Zog the Gemara.
You know the mice with the chukatz.
Well, we don't have time for more mice. That's it. 2 mice is enough. There's a limit. There's 13 minutes here. There's a great mice coming up, though. Better than all these mices. Zog the Gemara. So the problem is, how did Rabbi Yirmiyah daven behind his Rebbe? Shani Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba the Talmud Chaver Hava. He was not just a Talmud, but he was a Chaver. Vayner the Kamalei Rabbi Yirmiyah bar Abba Rav. He actually spoke to Rav as a friend, not as a Talmud, and he said, Mi badalt, you are making an early Shabbos. Did you stop doing melacha? What do you mean mi badalt? That's how you talk to Rebbe. You should say, Rebbe, did you stop? Omalei in bedilna v'loy omar mi badil mar. He should have used the word mar. And Rebbe and Rav answered him, yes, I stopped doing melacha. I accepted upon myself Shabbos. It's complete Shabbos. But the Gemara now jumps into this. Umi badil, did he actually not do melacha after he accepted upon him Shabbos, early Shabbos? V'omer Rebbe Ovin pamachas ispal Rebbe shel Shabbos be'erev Shabbos v'nichlas lemerchat v'yotza v'shana lam pirkin. He once accepted early Shabbos, and he went into the Beis HaMerchatz. And not only that, and afterwards he had time to teach us. V'adayin le'choshcha, wasn't even nighttime. Now, what's the problem? It goes like this. There's 2 steps. We used to be able to go into the Beis HaMerchatz on Shabbos, as long as the water is heated before Shabbos. Then they made a gzeira because people were lying and saying, oh, I heated the water up before Shabbos, when in fact they did it on Shabbos. And they said, you're allowed to at least go into the shvitz, into the sauna, into the shvitz, that you're allowed to, but you're not allowed to go into the water. And then even that became a problem. People were saying, they saw people sneaking into the Beis HaMerchatz. No, I'm just going for the shvitz. Meanwhile, they're going to the Beis HaMerchatz. They made a gzeira on everything. So it's a 2-step gzeira. How did Rav go into the Beis HaMerchatz? So the Gemara, how did Rebbe go into the Beis HaMerchatz? Omar Rav Ahu denichnas la'aziyah. He was in between the thing. He went in for the shvitz, and the shvitz was okay. V'koydem gzeira hav. It was before they said that the shvitz is also. It was also to go into water, but it's mutter to go into the shvitz. He allowed him, once after he accepted Shabbos, he allowed him to smoke these baskets with sulfur. It was some sort of process, but it's a chil Shabbos. After he accepted Shabbos upon himself, the early Shabbos. Says Gemara, Uta Usahavi. So okay, bottom line is, once you accept Shabbos in our days, you're not allowed to do any melacha. The fact over there was, didn't have clocks, all of a sudden became dark. He thought that it's Shabbos. He was makabel himself Shabbos. Then the clouds move away. He realized it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So he said, okay, go do your sulfur, whatever you have to do, because it's not really Shabbos. Says the Gemara, what do you mean? If a person is accept Shabbos at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, he's allowed to do melacha. And this exact story became cloudy. Everybody thought it's nighttime. They started davening, Shabbos, and they started davening Ma'ariv Shabbos. All of a sudden, they realized it's time to take a nap in the afternoon. It's not even nighttime. What's going on here? Yeah, too late. You daven Ma'ariv, I don't care, that's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Says the Gemara, says the Gemara, Ma'ariv, they don't have to daven again. But of course they can't do melacha. It's Shabbos, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But that's because it's a tzibur. Tzibur, I say, you don't have to do, you don't have to daven again. But this guy who's a yachid individual who davened Ma'ariv of Shabbos in the middle of Friday afternoon, everybody's shopping in the Merkaz, this guy is davening Ma'ariv. So he said, Mishuga, go do melacha, do whatever you want, you made a mistake. Rav Chia bar Ovin, Rav Tzah,
Clock doesn't come into this?
No, this is before, yeah.
So the 4 o'clock.
Rav Chia bar Ovin, Rav Tzali shel Shabbos be'erev Shabbos. Rav made an early Shabbos. Rabbi Yoshim Mitzali shel Mitzoi Shabbos b'Shabbos. Ooh, this is big. Before Shabbos is over, let's say Plag, he davens Ma'ariv with Havdalah, everything. He takes a cup, as we're going to see. What's Pshat? So Tosfos points out right away, the only time you can do this is in a tremendous Shasat Chak. If a guy has to do another mitzvah, he has to do Pidyon Shvum or whatever, on Motzei Shabbos, and he doesn't have time now to take a cup of wine. Sometimes, unfortunately, you have a flight. Leaving Chicago, there's only like one flight. I don't know if that's called a Shatz Chag. Let's say. So people are waiting by the doors with the suitcases. So maybe, I don't know, I'm not a Paisik, but maybe in such a case, you're allowed to make Havdalah while it's Shabbos, so you save your time that minute. Fine. You can't. Okay. We just got a psak from Nachman Seltzer, you can't. Rav Tzali shel Shabbos be'erev Shabbos, oy mikdusha ala kois. So do you make Kiddush? What do? Do you make Kiddush an hour before Shkia? Oy mikdusha ala kois. Toshmad, Rav Nachman, Rav Shmuel, mispal odem shel Shabbos be'erev Shabbos, oy mikdusha ala kois. You make Kiddush. The Hilchos will say, you make Kiddush, you eat the whole meal. What do you have to do? Everybody knows. You have to repeat Kriya Shema. I just have to say, my own personal experience. In Chicago, I went around the shul one day. I had an argument with my friend. I went around the shul. I asked every single person in the shul whether or not they repeated Shema the night before. I have to say, 75% of the people told me they did not repeat Kriya Shema. That's why I myself, I'm makbid, I don't daven, but that has nothing to do. I'm not a Rav. I'm just saying, there are people that put their watches backwards. I have a major problem in general. I'm very forgetful, so I have an issue. I don't. And I saw that other people also forget a lot of times to repeat Kriya Shema, and it's very important. Rabbi Yoshe, what? Okay, fine. It's just the aura. I'm not passing anything. Rabbi Yoshe Mitzali, what? People do, you have to do things to remember. Like you try to remember Sfir Sa'imer, all these things you try to remember. However it works. But anyways, it's very important. What? If it's not, yeah, exactly. Very good. He said if it's night, what they're saying is Kriya Shema is the Raisa. You must repeat Kriya Shema at its time. Tefillah, Shemona Esrei. That's all we're talking about. Shemona Esrei. That's why you can do it early. What? Zok Gemara. We gotta go. Rabbi Yoshi Mitzale, Rabbi Yoshio Mitzali, Shel Moitzoi Shabbos b'Shabbos. He would say Ma'ariv early, as we explained before, b'Shas Etchak. Oimer Avdallah al Kois. Oimer Avdallah al Kois. Did he say with Avdallah? Toshma Dor Rabbi Yudom Shmuel Mispalodem Shel Moitzoi Shabbos. V'Oimer Havdallah ala Kois. Fine. Rabbi Yosef, if you ever want to know how rumors start, from right here, from this Gemara. Omer Rav Zera, Omer Rav Asi, Omer Rav Elazar, Omer Rav Chanina, Omer Rav. They said it all in the name of Rav. B'tzad Amud by this pillar right over here, Hispalel Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi, Davin Shel Shabbos Rabbi Shabbos. He made an early Shabbos. Kiyosu Ula Amar, B'tzad Tmara Hava. It wasn't by this pillar, it was by that date tree, palm tree. V'loi B'tzad Amud v'loi V'loi B'tzad Amud Hava. V'loi Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi Hava. It wasn't even Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi. You got the last name right. El Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Yossi Hava. V'loi Shel Shabbos Rabbi Shabbos. It wasn't that it was the early Shabbos Hava. El Shel Mitzvah Shabbos B'Shabbos Hava. You got three out of three things wrong. Tfilas Erev Ein Lo Keva. Ma'in Lo Keva. Keva is an interesting lotion. Keva means it doesn't have a fixed time. Ilay Medi Boy Mitzali Kuli Leilio. Listen to Tfilas Erev Kol Leila. If you're learning like we learned in the Mishnah, you could say Shemona Esrei of Ma'ariv all night long. So say it specifically. Hold on, guys. Elamai Ein Lo Keva. Kimando Omar Tfilas Arvis Rishus. This is a question whether Tfilas Arvis Ma'ariv is elective or it's obligatory. The Omar of Yehuda Omar Shmuel, and here comes the big story based on this question. What does it mean? They explain. Lamaisa we paskin that Ma'ariv is Rishus, but Rishus, Zaykizond, Rishus meaning that we were mekabelit as a minhag, so we have to do it. We can't be makel on it. The Omar of Yehuda Omar Shmuel Tfilas Arvis Rim Gabriel Omar Chayva Rabbi Shua Omar Rishus. If you look at Tosfos, when he says Rishus v'Halacha Kedibra Omar Rishus. Meaning, says Tosfos, it's only a question whether I could be mevatel ma'ariv in order to be mekayim another mitzvah. Not because, I just found out ma'ariv is a shul, so now I'm not going to ma'ariv anymore. And if you look in here, it says chaf, meaning the Shulchan Aruch paskins like Rava, that's divrei rishus. Now here is one of the most famous stories in Shas. This story happened approximately 14 years after the Churban. Maisa beTalmud Echad, as the Gemara is going to say, it's Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai asked the question that we just discussed. Shabbat lefnei Reb Yeshua. I asked Reb Yeshua, and I believe Reb Yeshua was the Av Bezdin. However, greater than him, in a more authoritative position than him, was the Nasi, Rebbe Gamliel. Omar loy tfilas arvis rishus chayva. Omar loy rishus. Reb Yeshua paskins like Rava, or Rava paskins like Reb Yeshua. Yeshua was way before. I say Ma'ariv is Rishos. Balaf Neirim Gamliel, Omar Loi Tfilas Arvis Rishos Chayva, Omar Loi Chayva. Yeah, okay, that's the question. I had to go to two people. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai knew what he was doing. He asked for whatever reason. Fine. Reb Gamliel, who's the Nasi, passing the Chayva. Omar Loi, now he throws him under the bus. Valor Reb Yeshua, Omar Loi Rishos, Reb Yeshua. Now, as we're going to see, Reb Yeshua got into trouble a number of times before with Reb Gamliel. I don't know how nice this was to say this, but okay, fine. He did it. It's halacha l'maisi. You got the halacha out. Omar Loi, okay, I have a plan. You just pretend you never asked me this question. When everybody's in the Beis Medrash, ask me the question again. Hanta that she comes to Bali Trace in the Beis Medrash. Kishenichnas Bali Trace in Omad Ashoel V'Shal. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai gets up and asks the question. Tfilas Arvis Rishus Chayva. Omar Reb Gamliel Chayva. Of course it's a Chayva. Omar Loi Reb Gamliel Chachamim. Klum Yeshodim Shecholik B'Dov. Is there anybody here that's mechulik on me, staring right into Reb Yeshua's eyes? Omar Loi Reb Yeshua Lav. No, Mapi Tom. I never said anything. What are you talking about? Because he didn't want to be mechulik on Reb Gamliel Barabim. You're talking about the covet of the Nasi. What are you talking about? You said not like me. So he tells him, Yeshua, he's talking from the Gdoil Adar. Av Bezdin, get up on your feet. Stand up while I talk. Punishment. If Reb Shimon was dead, I could argue with him. How could I argue with someone that's alive? And he kept him standing there. And Rabbi Gamliel continues his share. Rabbi Shua even the Raglov. Everybody was very upset. How could
do wrong?
Rabbi Shua was mechulok with him? Now they had everybody knows there was a speaker of the house. There was like a speaker mamish. They told him in Turgamon, Amoid, stop. I don't know they had rishus to do this. And he stopped talking. How many times are you going to do this to Rabbi Shua? When he argued with you about whether it's Rosh Hashanah, if it's Yom Kippur, Rabbi Gamliel said, I want you to come on Yom Kippur with your money, with your stick, to show everybody that it's not Yom Kippur today. When there was a Shiloh, Reb Tzaddik was a Kohen, and he said that my Bechar, he ate stuff and he became Balmum, and Rabbi Shua said, it's okay, not okay. He said, stand up. He punished him again. 3 times he gives him tzar. Tov and Abra, we got to get rid of Gamliel. Remove him from position. The problem is, who's going to replace him? Rabbi Shua. We can't put Rabbi Shua with the Abbez and Balmaiso. He's the one. And they explain, the Rishonim explain, Rashi says here, it'll cause him greater aggravation to know that the person that caused this, and maybe he'll even think that he did it on purpose, you can't put Rabbi Shua. Rabbi Kiva, Rabbi Gamliel is going to daven to Hashem. Look how much tsar he has, embarrassment. They removed him. Rabbi Kiva doesn't have schus. He comes from Gerim. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, he knows how to answer everything. And he could go to the Kesar. He has schus. Who chacham? The actually mefarkli. He has a lot of money. He could deal with the Kesar. This is schus. He's 10 generations from Ezra. We want you, Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah, to be the Nasi, also known as the Reish Mesivta. Let me go ask my wife. Anybody here knows that when somebody says, let me go ask my wife, he has no, ask any car salesman. You like the car, I love it. I'm just going to go home and ask my wife. That means he's never coming back. So, Rabbi Yonasan Eibshitz says an amazing thing here. Why did he ask his wife? Who asked the wife? A Nasi, of course I'm going to chap it. Says Rabbi Yonasan Eibshitz, because Oina for a Nasi is different than a Talmud Chacham. Talmud Chacham is every Erev Shabbos. A Nasi is every month. For that you have to ask permission from your wife. He went and he asked his wife. Omerlei, of course, what did she say? Nah, don't do it. They're going to get rid of you. It's better to use a glass choshev cup, even though tomorrow is going to be broken. Let me be a Nasi for one day. Omerlei, let's not chivra, so you don't have white hair. He was 18 years old. And he got 18 rows of white hair. Hanu dekama Rebbe Elazar ben Azariah, Areh Nikven Shivim Shono, Veloi Ben Shivim Shono. Have a wonderful day.